Can you see my screen, everyone?
Yes, sir, we can able to see.
Yes.
Yeah, tell me guys, so where are we? What we discussed in previous class?
Prototype constructor. Prototype constructor.
Prototype constructor. What is prototype constructor? Yeah?
Default constructor. Default constructor, then prototype.
I think already we discussed about what is the constructor and what is the purpose of constructor. And okay, and while creating constructor, what are the rules we have to follow, right? So and after that, what is default constructor? Okay, the compiler generated constructor, right? And after that, we see what is the prototype for default constructor, right? What is the prototype for default constructor, right? So that's what I think already we discussed in previous class. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Have any questions, guys? Up to that? Hello.
No.
Yeah. So now we will go for other topics, guys. Okay. So now I think, yeah. So for every Java class, right? For every Java class, there should be a constructor, whether programmer created constructor or compiler generated constructor. Okay. For every Java class, there should be a constructor. Am I right or not? Okay. If programmer created any constructor, then compiler will not generate any default constructor, right? If programmer is not written any constructor in Java class, then compiler always plays what? Default constructor. So what is the prototype of default constructor? The constructor name should match with class name, and the access modifier of constructor also, okay, should take from where? Class modifier, right? And what is the first line of the, in the default constructor body, what is the first statement, guys? Super off, right? Right. So here, what is the first line of default constructor, guys? Compiler generated constructor, what is the first line? Super off. So what is the super off means here? Super off means, okay, calling superclass constructor, guys. Calling superclass constructor. See, super off. Every constructor, okay, what is the first statement for default constructor which is generated by compiler is super off. So what is the super off here? Calling superclass constructor. Understand? For calling what? Superclass constructor. To initialize superclass instance variable. Understand? To initialize what? Superclass instance variable. For initializing superclass instance variable, we are calling what? Superoff. Am I right or not? Understand, everyone? Clear?
Yes. Yeah.
So now, let me create one class here. Okay. We'll go for next topics of constructor, guys. Okay. So now, see, I'm having class called, let me change the font. Fine. So now, class, okay, student. For the class student, okay, we have what? Student constructor. Okay, student constructor we have. Then the same way I have one more constructor called okay, student in type. In the same way, I have one more constructor called student. Here, int I, string name. Okay. So now, okay. So now, if you see in this class, how many constructors we have, guys? How many constructors we have?
2, 3.
Three constructors we
3
have.
constructor.
Okay. So, shall we have three constructor in a single class?
Yeah.
Can we have three constructors in a single class?
Yes. We
Yeah.
can.
So, in one class, we can create any number of constructors, guys. Understand? So there is no restriction. Okay. So in one class, we can have any number of constructors. If you see now, this is student. This is what, guys? Zero argument constructor. Right? For this constructor, do we have any argument types? We don't have. If you see this constructor, how many argument constructor it is? One argument constructor. So that is int type, right? If you see here, two argument constructor, right? Now, if you see clearly, here see the constructor names are same, right? The constructor names are same. But if you see the arguments, there are a different argument types. Am I right or not?
Yes.
There are a different argument types. So this concept is called what, guys? Already we discussed. This concept is called what? This concept is called overloading. Okay. So here what? Constructor overloading. Okay. Don't worry. We will discuss overloading and overriding feature in OOPS concept in detail. Okay. But now, if you see in this class, we have what? Three constructor. Right. Now, all these constructors names are same, but if you see the arguments are different. Okay. So having constructor name is same, and if you have different argument types, okay, such type of constructors are called what, guys? Overloaded constructors. Am I right or not? Overloaded constructors. Okay.
Out.
Hello.
Yeah.
What about remaining people? Understand?
Okay, sir. Yes.
Okay. So this is what, guys? Overloaded constructors. Okay. So now, see, whether you created so programmer created constructor. Okay. Here what? Student class. Who created this one? Who created? As a programmer, we created a class. So in this class, how many constructor we have written? Three constructors we have written. Right. Now, see, this is what? Zero argument constructor. This is what? Zero argument constructor. This is what? One argument constructor. This is what? Two argument constructor. Am I right or not? So now, see, now here, so do you see compiler will generate any default constructor here?
No.
Why compiler will not generate any default constructor?
Either one. Programmer.
Yeah. So already programmer created a constructor. If programmer created any constructor, then compiler will not generate any default constructor. That's what we discussed right yesterday. Okay. In one Java class, only we have what? Either programmer generated class or compiler generated constructor. Sorry, programmer generated constructor or compiler generated constructor, but not both simultaneously. So that's what right yesterday we discussed.
Yes.
Clear, everyone? So now here see three constructor we have written. So by this time for this class, compiler will not generate any constructor, guys. Understand? Compiler will not generate any default constructor. Right or not? Here see zero argument constructor. But this constructor who created? Programmer created. Okay, this is what programmer created. So this one also same as what? Compiler generated default constructor only looks like. But this constructor who created? Programmer created. Understand? Everyone. Now,
Yes, sir.
now for each and every constructor, whether okay, the programmer who created constructor here we created 3 constructor, right? So now, what is the first line of each and every constructor? You know, either it should be super of or okay, this of. Understand? So what is the first line of each and every constructor? Okay, it should be either super of or this of, guys. Understand? For every constructor, okay, here what? Programmer created constructors. How many constructors programmer created? 3 constructors. You know, in the first constructor, if you see, what is the first line? Okay, indirectly, I mean, each and every constructor, what is the first line, guys? Either super of or this of. Understand? Either super of or this of. So here also, what is the first line? Super of
This
or this of. Okay, and here also, what is the first line, guys?
Super
Super
of
of
this.
or this of. Understand? Either super of or this of. Okay, so right. So now the default generated constructor. So who will generate? Compiler. For compiler generated default constructor, what is the first line? Super of. Understand? Super of. But programmer generated classes, if you want, you can write this of also. Okay. Or else if you want, you can write super of also. But this is the first line. Understand? If you try to add any other statement, we will get compile time error as a first line. So what does that mean? Here I'm writing one more class here. For example, see, same class. Okay. Class student I'm taking. For the student class, here see, I created what? One constructor. Okay. In this constructor, I'm writing system.out.println of, okay, constructor. Like that, I'm writing one SOP statement. Here, I'm writing what? Super of. Okay. Is it valid?
No.
Is it valid or not? Invalid. Why?
Not invalid. First
What should be
line.
the first statement?
Super of.
Super of. Understand? For every constructor, what should be the first statement, guys? Super of. Super of or this of. Understand? Here, see what I am taking as a first line. System.out.println of constructor. I am taking what? Okay. One SOP statement. But here, what should be the first statement? Either super of or this of. Understand? Okay. Now I'm writing one more class here. Okay. Okay. Class student. I'm creating one constructor. Student. 0 argument constructor. In this constructor, I'm taking this of or super of. Is it valid?
Invalid.
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 Why invalid?
Either this or
This are super, but we are using both.
Yeah. So for every constructor, the first line should be either super of or this of. Understand? Either super of or this of. See here, student. What is the first line here? This of. Fine. Right. Now, if you see the second line, what it is? Super of. But super of should be where? In the first line.
first time.
Understand? Am I right or not? See here, student of, if you see in this constructor body, what is the first line, guys? What is the first line? This of, right? That's fine. In the first line, Either it should be super off or this off. Okay, the first line is valid. Now come to second line. What it is? Super off, right? But super off where it should be? Where it should be?
First
It should be
line.
first line. Okay, it should not be in second line. Understand? Either this or super, where we have to keep as a first line only we need to keep. Understand? But here we are keeping where in the second line. Okay, so that's what here we will get what? Compile time error. Clear everyone?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so now if you want to see these things, okay, let me write example, guys. Shall we go for directly manual approach? Okay, in the manual approach you will see the compile time errors clearly, guys. Okay, now let me write one Java class here. So language Java, right? Now tell me class constructor demo. Here what I'm taking, or else already student class we have a
Yeah, already.
Yes, sir.
already we have, right?
Yes.
Hmm. Demo class also we have, I think, right?
University.
Okay, fine. So now you will write package, guys. Okay, package com dot tech dot station. Fine.
Yeah,
So
fine.
now class student. Okay, class student. For this class, let me take one constructor. This is what? Constructor. Okay, so now I'm writing what? System dot out dot println. System dot out dot println. Okay, this time writing what? Constructor. That's it. Okay, so after that, what I'm writing here? Super off. Okay, so this is my simple Java class, guys. Fine. So now let me save this class. Where, guys? I think under C, right? Under C, there is a training here only. Now, package demo, not package, guys. Constructor, right? Constructor demo. Okay, constructor demo.java. So this is what? Source file.
Yeah,
I need to save the source file, right?
yes,
Normal approach. So now, fine. Let me go to C, where it is? Trainings, right? Training. This is the
Concept.
path. C training only, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I need to compile, right? Java C
Constructor
file name
demo.
dot Java.
Constructor.
Constructor demo, right? Demo.java. See what it is saying?
Call
If
to
you see the
super.
compile time error, what it is saying? Call
Call
to
to
super must be first statement in constructor. Understand? Call to super must be first statement in constructor. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what we discussed, right? Now, if you see here, okay, now if I put, okay, here what will happen? I'm saving the file. After saving, what we need to do? Again, we need to compile. The compilation successfully done, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you see Java
Student.
Java C, I think we have used the what do you call package also, right? Package also we are using, right? So I think
Yeah,
we need to
fine.
compile by using package notation here. Now Java C, what is the package notation? -d space dot space constructor demo, right?
Yes.
Constructor demo.java. Yeah. Now Java, what is the class name, guys? Student. Right? Java class name, right?
Yes.
No class def found error. Right?
There is no main.
Huh?
Method is not there.
Sorry?
Main method.
Okay. Correct. We don't have main method, right?
Yes.
Right, guys. Okay. So now compilation completed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So compilation successfully done, right? So now if you comment here, okay. Now if I put this, okay. If I put this, now let me write public static void main method also, guys. Okay. Public static void main. Okay. String args. Fine. Now I'm creating what? Student. St is equal to new student. I'm creating an object of the student class. Okay. Now, see now, I have what? Super off and this off. Okay. Now, let me try to compile this program. See, what is the compile timer I'm seeing here? Call to this must be first statement in constructor. Okay. See here, what it is saying? Call to this must be first statement in constructor. Understand? See here, super off. Okay, first line is executing, so proc, it's fine. Now coming to second line, this up. This should be what? Either should be first line. Understand? It should not be in second line. So that's what it is saying. Clear, everyone? Call to this must be first statement in constructor. Okay. So now, if I remove these two, just I'm putting what? One system, okay, sysout. Okay, sysout message. That's it. Now, if you compile, what will happen? Compilation will successfully done. Understand? Why compilation will get successfully done? So what is the by default statement here? First line. See, if you remove the super off also, what would be the first line here? Super off only.
Super of
Understand? Whether you're keeping or not, what is the first line, guys? For every constructor, super off. Understand? If you keeping or not, for every constructor, what is the first line? Super off only. Okay, if you write explicitly, okay, that should be in first line. If you are not writing super off statement explicitly in constructor, automatically it should be what? It is in first line only. But if you are writing, programmer is writing super off statement explicitly, then we have to keep under where? We have to keep as a first line. We should not keep as a second line or third line. Clear, everyone?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right? So now, okay, now this is what, guys? Okay, constructor. Now, I think already we see, right? Now, let me write few more constructor here. This is what? Zero argument constructor. Now, I'm writing int I. Okay. This is what, guys? Okay. This is it. One more constructor. Int type constructor. Here, let me copy the above one. Int type constructor. This is what? Zero archetype constructor. Fine. Now, in the same way, I'm taking what? One more constructor here. Now, this is string name. Okay. Now, string type constructor. So now these constructors are what, guys? Overloaded constructors. Okay. The constructors
Yes,
having
sir.
same name and with different argument types. Such type of constructors are used to call as what? Overloaded constructors. Okay. That is what? Overloaded constructors. Okay. Now, yeah, we can have overloaded constructor. So now see, Control S, I'm compiling this our application. Java C. See, compilation successfully, right? Means what? We can have multiple constructors in Java class. Am I right or not? Okay. Now, okay. How, see here, I'm creating object of what? Student class. Here, which constructor I'm calling? Which constructor JVM is calling?
0.
This one. Here we are creating object of constructor, right?
Yes,
Constructor
sir.
when it will be executed. While creating object of the class, then only the particular constructor will start executing, right? So
Yes,
here
sir.
what? Which constructor we are calling here?
0
JVM,
argument.
JVM will call which constructor? Zero argument constructor. Understand? So how many constructors we have? 3 constructors we have. But here, which constructor we are calling? Zero argument
Zero.
constructor. Okay. In the same way, I want to call the second constructor. How can I call? st1 is equal to, or st2 is equal to new student of.
10.
I need to pass some value, right? Argument value. So in the same way, if I want to call the third constructor, st3 is equal to new student of, what, guys? Some name, right? We need to pass what? String value as a literal, because it is expecting what? String type argument type. Am I right or not? Now, if you see what these 3 constructor will call, understand?
Yes.
For first object, zero argument constructor is calling. For the second object creation, the second constructor is calling. The third object, the third constructor is calling. Am I right or not? Hello?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
right.
Now,
Yes, sir.
how to call one constructor from another constructor? Understand?
Yes,
How
sir.
to call one constructor from another constructor. This is what we are calling these 3 different constructor in 3 different ways while creating object. But here what I'm asking you, how to call one constructor from another constructor. We have 3 constructors here. From
Yes,
zero
sir.
argument constructor, I want to call what? This int type of constructor. From int type of constructor, I want to call what? Okay. String type of constructor.
Yes.
Understand? How to call?
This.
Okay. So for that only, we have what, guys? This. Understand? So for that, we have to use what, guys? This of. See, now from this of, for this constructor, zero argument constructor, I want to call what? Int type of constructor, right? So
Yes,
for
sir.
int type of constructor, what we have? This
10.
is what int type of constructor. So for this int type of constructor, what it is expecting? Int type of argument value it is expecting. Now, in order to call that constructor, what we need to pass? We need to pass int argument value. Let's suppose, let me pass 20. Understand?
Yeah.
Clear or not? Now,
clear.
from this constructor, we are invoking what? Int type of constructor. Now, from int type of constructor, I want to invoke what? This string type of constructor. So now, how to call this of? Understand? This is what it is expecting? string type. Now let me pass what? Java world. Right or not?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Now let me uncomment these two. Now what will happen? Public static void means string also. Okay. From here, program execution will start. Now we are creating what? Student class object by calling zero argument
Yeah,
constructor. Means what? This constructor will call. Right? While creating this object, which constructor will call? This constructor will call. Who will call this constructor? Who will call this constructor?
JVM.
JVM will call this constructor. Okay. Now, while executing this constructor, what is the first statement here? This of 20. Understand? This of 20. This of 20 means what? From this constructor, we are invoking another constructor of the same class. This of 20 means what? This of means what? This of means execute same constructor. I mean, same class constructor. This means what? Same class. Superof means what? Super class constructor. Clear, everyone?
Actually.
Means what? Same class constructor. Super means what? Super class constructor, guys. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
here this of. So now this of what? Here 20. 20 means what? Int value. So now it will check in this class, do we have any constructor which is having one int argument value? Understand? So do we have that such type of constructor? Yes, we have. What it is? This is the one. So now this constructor will call from here to here. Understand? From here, what we are calling? Again, we are calling one more constructor. See, this of. This of means what? Current class construct. Calling current class constructors. Okay. Now, what is the value we are passing? String value. So now it will verify. In this class, do we have any constructor which is taking string, okay, argument value? Okay, string argument value. Do we have such type of constructor? Yes, we have, right? So this
Yes,
is the
sir.
constructor. Now this constructor will execute. Understand? So what is the output here? Tell me, guys. What is
Zero
the
argument
output
type constructor.
Hmm?
First is string type constructor,
Hmm.
then int type constructor.
Hmm.
Then
Next one
zero
is zero arg type constructor. Okay. Now let me execute this one. So Java say compilation successfully done. Now Java student dot. So here where the class is available dot class under package com dot tech dot station. Am I right or not?
Yes.
So we have to give complete path name, right? Otherwise, how the JVM know where it is available? Understand? Com
Yeah.
dot tech dot station dot student. So now string type constructor, int type constructor, zero arg type constructor. Understand?
Yeah.
So here see, we are using package name. So package name means what? Under that package, this dot class file will be created, right? So now, while asking JVM to execute this class file, this the student dot class file, okay, you have to inform the JVM. Okay, you have to inform to JVM where this dot student class is available. The path we have to mention. Understand? Then only JVM will go that particular path and will identify that class file and it will load into JVM memory, okay, by using class loader mechanism. After that, already we know, right, the 8 steps. Okay, finally it will execute. Clear or not? So now see, string type constructor is the first SOP. After that, int type constructor, and after that what, guys? Zero arg type constructor. See now, here student st is equal to new student. Okay, now which constructor will call? Zero argument constructor will call. For here, what is the first statement? This of 20. This of 20 means what, guys? Okay, this of 20 means which constructor will call? This constructor. Okay, from here, what is the first line? Again, this of Java world means what? Which constructor will call? This string type constructor will call. Now system.out.println, what is the first statement here? String type constructor. Now string type constructor will display first, and after that, from here, Okay, the control come to here. From here, what is the second line? Int type constructor.
Type constructor.
Okay, now int type constructor will execute. Okay, so now control where it will go? Line number 6, right? After line number 6, what is the second line? Zero arg type constructor. Understand? So that's why here, if you see the output, string type constructor, int type constructor, zero arg type constructor. Clear?
Exactly.
Everyone,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
right? So this is the way we can call what? One constructor from another constructor, guys. Understand? Okay. So that's what we have to keep super of or this of what? First statement. Now, if you remove this of here, and if you place under this line, we will get what? Compile time error. Why? Super of this of either super of this of should be what? First line. Understand? You know, if you see here, see what is the compile time error we are seeing? Call to this must be first statement in constructor. Understand? So that's why always we have to keep either this of or super of in the first line of the constructor. Okay. This of means what? To call current class constructor, we have to use what, guys? This of. Understand? So to call superclass constructor, what we have to use? Super of. Understand? What we have to use? Super of. So now, if I write here, instead of this of, super of. Okay. Now, which constructor will execute, guys? Superclass constructor will execute. So what is the superclass here? What is the superclass? What is the superclass?
Object.
Object class. For every Java
Java
class,
class
either
is a
predefined
superclass.
class or user-defined class, what is the superclass, guys? For every Java class, what is the superclass? Object class,
Object
right?
class.
So already we discussed it, right? I don't know why you guys are, I don't know what I can say here. Okay. For every Java class, what is the superclass, guys? Object class. Object class constructor will execute. Understand? Object
Yes.
class constructor will execute. Okay. So now, if you're not putting the super of also here, let's suppose you're not putting the super of, even though object class constructor will execute. Why? For every constructor, what is the first line? Super of only by default. Understand? For every constructor, what is the first line, guys, by default? Super of only. So super of means what? Super class constructor will execute. Understand?
Yes.
To initialize what? Super class instance variable. Understand? To initialize super class instance variable. Okay. So don't worry. We will discuss one more time this constructor concept while discussing inheritance concept, child and parent concept. Okay. Child class, parent class. Okay, we will see, right? Is a relationship, as a relationship. By that time, again, we will see. Okay. Now, this of what, guys, here? 20. This is the one, right? Okay. So now, let me copy this. Where I'm playing. Yeah. So now, we'll go for next topic. Yeah. Hope you people clear, right? So, what is the first case, guys? We have to use super of or this of only in the first line of the constructor. Okay. So let me write few points here. Tell me. we have to
Use
use super of or
this
this of
in
only in the
first
right
line of constructor.
first line of constructor. Okay. If we have if we are using, if we are using, if we are using anywhere else, we will get what?
Compile time.
Compile time error.
We will get compile time error. See, fine. So no. So no. What is the next statement we discussed, guys? Right? What is the compile time error? What is the compile time error?
Super should be in the first line.
Statement.
Compile time error. Call to super must be first statement in constructor. So this is the compile time error we will get. Clear? No. What is the second statement? We can use either super of or this of, but not both simultaneously. Right? So this one also we see. Am I right or not? But not both
Yes.
simultaneously. Either super of or this of we can use, but not both simultaneously. Am I right or not? Because what?
Yes.
Either you can
Yes,
this or super in the first line. If you use both, means what? Definitely, if you use this as first line, then super will be the second line. If you use super as first line, then this will be the second line. Then in that time, what we will get? We will get compile time error again. The same compile time error. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
No. No. What are the other statement? No. We can use the super of. We can use the super of this of only in constructor guys. Only in constructor body. Okay. Or else only in constructor body or inside constructor. Okay. If you are using anywhere else, if I are using anywhere, you will get compile time error. Understand?
Yeah, okay.
So what is the compile time error we will get? Same compile time error we will get, guys. Call to super of must be
First statement.
first statement in constructor. Okay. You want to see that one? See here you have a class, right? So now in the public static void main method. Okay, in the public static void main method, here I'm trying to use what? Soprof. Right? Where I'm using Soprof now? In the public static void main method. This is what? Method. Okay. But now, if I compile this Java program, see what is the compile time error we will see here? Call to super must be first statement in constructor. But where I'm using this Soprof? Under main method. Okay. So Soprof and this of where we can use? Only we can use inside the constructor. If you are trying to use anywhere else, we will get compile time error. Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay? No. So, tell me. Any question? Right. So now, so we can call constructor directly from another constructor only. Understand?
Yes.
Okay, we can call one constructor from another constructor, right? So that's what also we discussed, right?
Yes.
Next statement. We can have any number of constructors in Java class, right? In one Java class. In one Java class. Okay, and the next one. We can have overloaded
Loading.
constructors. Right? And we can call one constructor from another constructor within the class by using what? This of. Right? So these are the points we discussed, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. No. Okay. So no. No. So no. Super off and this off. Right? Super off and this off. Right. So now. So let me take this one. Tell me where we can use this super off and this off, guys.
Inside the constructor.
No. Super off and this off. We can use this super off and this off within the constructors only. Okay. We can call only in constructor. Where we can call this one? Only in constructor only, right? We can call only in constructor. What are the next one? Super off and this off. It should be
First statement.
as first statement only. Understand? As first statement only. What else? Super off and this off. Where we can use
Either only using either super.
only one, but not both simultaneously. Understand? Right. Super off and this off. We can call only in constructor, guys. Right? And the super off, this off should be at what? As a first statement only. Understand? Only one, but not both simultaneously. Right? We can use either super off or this off, but not both simultaneously. Clear? So now, if you see, there are a keywords, guys. Super and this. Okay. There are a keywords. What are those keywords, guys? Super
This
and this. These are what? Keywords. Here, super of this of what, guys? These are the constructor calls. Understand? These are different, guys. Super of and this of what? Constructor calls. And super and this is what? Keywords. So if you are using super of and this of, by using super of, you can call what? Super class constructor. Okay? By using this of, you can call what? Current class constructor. From one constructor to another constructor. Okay? But now, if you see super and this, super is what? It's a keyword. So to refer super class object, by using super, we can represent super class object. By using this, we can represent what? Current class object. Already we discussed, right? This. If you see in the constructor, this dot id is equal to id. This dot id means what? This is what? Current class object. Understand? By using this keyword, we will represent what? Current class object. By using super keyword, we will represent what? Super class keyword, super class object. Understand or not? So there are different guys. Okay.
Yes.
So now let me write difference between super of this of. Okay. People will ask guys in interview.
Sir.
What is the difference between super of and this of? People will ask you. Now here what? super keyword, this keyword. Now tell me now, what are the difference, guys? The first one, super of and this of. Tell me, already super of this of, you know, right?
Yes.
What is the first one?
So you know
We can use, right? We can use this to call what? To call super class and current class. Tell me, current class, what? Constructors. We can use super of this up to what? We can use these to call what? Super class and current class constructors. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Okay. Next one. But here what? Here. Tell me. We can use these to refer
Super class.
Super class.
super
And current class
class
Current
objects.
class.
and
Current
current
class
class.
objects.
Okay. Current class objects are instance members.
Instance.
Right?
Yes.
Am I right or not?
Yeah. Right.
Now, here what is the second point, guys? What is the second point here? Tell me, what is the second difference? These are what, guys? These are constructor calls, right? Constructors calls. These are what? Constructor calls. But here, these are what? Keywords. Okay? These are keywords. This and super. These are what? Keywords. Remember the, what do you call? That time we discussed it, right? 48 keywords. Result words. Guys, come on. In our first class, okay? In our first 4 or 5th class, we discussed about result words, right? So by that time, we see this super and this keyword also. Okay? Now, so where we can use, guys, these things, we can use only in constructor. If you are trying to use anywhere else, we will get what? Compile time error. Okay? But now these, we can use anywhere, guys. Okay, we can use anywhere except which area? We can use anywhere inside the class except, come on, tell me, except super and this static area. Understand? So we can use anywhere except static area. Here, guys, super of this of where we can use inside the constructor only we can use. If we are trying to use anywhere else, we will get compile time error, right? So that's what we see, right, in this example. Just now we discussed it, right? Here, see where I'm using the super of main method. In the method, I'm trying to use super of. So what we will get now? If you are trying to compile this program, what we will get? We will get compile time error. Because super of where we can use within the constructor only we can use. If we are trying to use anywhere else, we will get compile time error within the class. Am I right or not? But when come to super and this, these are what? Keywords. By using super, you can refer super class instance variable. By using this, you can refer current class instance variable. Understand? Okay.
Yes, sir.
But now we can use super and this anywhere else, guys. Anywhere also you can use in the Java class, everywhere you can refer. But except what? Static area. Yes. I need to. Your battery is running low. Fine. Okay. So now, yeah, super and this. So super and this what? Super class instance variable we can use by super. We can refer by using this keyword. We can refer what? Current class. Okay. Current class, current object instance variable. Okay. Now this is what super and this is what regarding what representing what instances, right? Instance variables, right? So can we refer instance variable directly from static area? Hello. So that's what. Okay. So this static, what do you call this super and this keyword we can use everywhere in Java class, but except what static area. Okay. So now here, let's suppose we have what this. Okay. So now let's suppose in this class we have what int id. Okay. And string name. These are what instance variable. Now here what public static void main. This is what static area, right? Now from here this dot id, right? This dot id. Now control s or else system dot out dot println of this dot id. Okay. See, what is the compile time error we are getting now? Non-static variable, this cannot be referred from a static context. Understand? So why this is what, guys? Instance variable. This is what? This is related to instance. Super is what? Related to instance. So
Yes,
we
sir.
cannot refer
Static area.
instance stuff from static area. So that's what we discussed, right? So I think we spent that time 2 hours. Already I explained you what are the steps it is involving, okay, by loading the class. So by that time, when the static variable will be created, for the static variable, when the JVM is allocated memory, okay, after static variable, instance variable will be allocated. For instance variable, JVM will be allocated memory. So like that, I think everything we discussed, right? Right? I think 2 hours or 3 hours we spent, guys. Okay, that time. Please
Yes, sir.
refer those things, right? So now we cannot refer what? This keyword and super keyword from static area. Okay. Except static area, we can use this keyword and super keyword from anywhere else. Clear? Now,
Okay.
so now if you comment that one, if you try to compile, then we can happily compile. Okay. So now, fine. So these are the differences between super of this and super and this, guys. Understand? Now, see here, if you the example public static void main. I tried to what this, right? So now, if you want super dot hash code, there is a hash code method, right? So now I'm trying to call what, guys? Hash code method. So here super means what? Super class object. Understand? This is super is what? Super class object. Now system dot out dot println of I want to print what? Super class object hash code. right? Now see here, Control S. If you try to compile, what we will get? Same error we will get. See, non-static variable super cannot be referenced from a static context. Understand? This is super is what? It's a non-static context. Super is what? Non-static variable. This is what? Related to instance. So directly we cannot refer instance things from static area, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now in the same way, here I'm writing what? Public void. Okay. Let me put M1 method. So now in this M1 method, okay, now I'm printing what? System.out.println of hash code and system.out.println of this dot id. Understand?
Yeah.
This dot id. So now here see, now I'm calling st dot what?
St dot mo.
st dot
Yeah,
m1 method I'm calling. Okay. st dot m1 method I'm calling. See now where I'm using this super keyword and this keyword, guys, directly in instance method. Okay. Can I use? I can happily use super keyword and this keyword inside instance method. Understand? Because
Yes,
what?
sir.
Super and this related to what? Instance. Right? So that's what we discussed, right? No.
Need to comment 33 line number, sir.
We did not comment. Yeah. Let me comment. Compilation successful, right? Now, Java C, Java student. But yeah, we need to give full name, right? Tell me, Java farm dot tech dot station dot student. See, string type constructor, int type constructor, zero arg type constructor. See, 758529971. This is the hash code for superclass constructor, superclass object is. What is the superclass object here? Object class. For object class hash code 758529971. So 0 is what? The default value. Right? We are calling what? ID, right? What is the default value? If you are not assigning any value, JVM will assign default value, right?
0.
0. Understand? While creating object here, so already we discussed it, right? By using new operator. And you see new operator, JVM will create one object. Okay. We'll copy what? Default copy of instance variable. Okay, ID and default value will be assigned by JVM first. 0 and null. Okay. So now we are trying to access what ID? What is the value now we will see? 0.
0.
This is the default value provided by JVM. Understand?
Yes.
Everyone. Any
Yes, sir.
questions, guys?
No.
No. Overloaded constructors. Okay. A class can contain more than one constructor, and all these constructors should have the same name but different argument types. Hence, these constructors are considered as what? Overloaded constructors, right? Already the point written or not? Not written? Huh?
Yeah, already written.
Where we have written?
Or we can last line.
Let me write that. Tell me, a class can contain, okay, more than, right, more than one constructor. And all these, and all these constructors, should have the what? Should have the same name, but different, different argument types, right? different argument types. Hence, these constructors are considered as overloaded constructors. Okay. So here, see in this example, these are what? Overloaded constructors. Am I right? So no, all these what guys? Overloaded constructors. Let me write here. Overloaded constructors. Clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, so remaining things we have, guys. Okay. Those things, the constructor, as part of constructor. So, how to use superclass constructor, how to use child class constructor. Okay. If you have superclass constructor and child class constructor, what we need to keep. I mean, few things are there left. Okay. We will discuss while discussing superclass and child class discussion, guys. I mean, inheritance concept. We have easy relationship, phasor relationship, right? So by that time, we will see remaining things on constructor. Okay. Remaining things on constructor. Now, here if you see, here I need to tell one more thing, guys. Where is our class? Here. Right. Now, see. Now, if I did not write this one, okay? If I did not write this one, let me remove this dot one time something. Okay. I'm removing completely this constructor. So now, how many constructor we have? Two constructor we have. Okay. How many constructors we have? Two constructor, right? Int type and string type. Okay. Now I'm trying to create object of what? Student class. Okay. So do you see any error here in this class? Please observe. Do you see any issue here? Tell me guys, do you see any issue here?
Same time constructor that time. Student ST equal to new student. That time calling the constructor. Same time method will call.
Same time method will call.
st.ml.
Same time method why it will call? After constructor only
After
method will
constructor.
We
call.
are creating object for zero type construct.
Then?
We didn't
Then?
create that one, that constructor. We didn't created a zero argument constructor, but we are calling that constructor.
Yeah. So here, see, let me execute this class. Let me compile this class first. You know, Java C. See, what is the error you are seeing? See, no suitable constructor found for student, no arguments. Student st is equal to new student. Constructor student.student id is not applicable. Actual and formal argument is different in length. Constructor student.string is not applicable. Actual and formal argument is, see, in detail error message it is showing. So by seeing this error message, what you came to know, what it is saying, see, in detail error message it is showing, guys. In this error message itself, the answer is there. Right? See, now, what are the constructors we have? Int argument constructor we have. String argument constructor we have. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Okay. Int argument constructor we have. String argument constructor we have. So who has written these two constructor? We created. Programmer has been created. Understand? So now, if programmer has been created any constructor, then compiler will not generate any default constructor, right?
Yes.
So that's we understood, right? So now here, see, I'm trying to create object of the student class by using which constructor, guys? Zero argument constructor. Okay. I'm trying to create object of the student class by using what? Zero argument constructor. Am I right or not?
Yes.
This is what? Zero argument constructor. Student of. This is what? Zero argument constructor. Now, while seeing this new operator, JVM will create one object of the student class, and after that it will copy the instance variable. Okay. After that, what? On top of that object, we need to perform what? Initialization. For initialization, which constructor here we are calling? Default, no argument constructor. Now JVM will verify, do we have any no argument constructor here? Do we have any no argument constructor? Come on, guys. Do we have any no argument constructor? Huh?
We don't have.
We don't
No,
have. So right. So that's what we will get compile time error. Understand? See here, no suitable constructor found for student, no arguments. Student test is equal to new student. If you see these two statements, okay, no suitable constructor found for student, no arguments. Student test is equal to new student. Understand? So that's what here we have two constructor, but these two constructors are not applicable. Understand? So like that, the compiler it is showing what? In detail error message. Right? So that's why always for any Java class, if you try to create any argument, I mean parameterized constructors, okay, always better to keep what, guys? Zero argument constructor also. Understand? So always better to keep zero argument constructor, guys. From here we are calling this one, right? Zero arg type. Okay. So always, why? If you are not keeping zero argument constructor, okay, if you are not writing zero argument constructor, what will happen? Compiler will not generate any default argument constructor. Understand? So if you have written any constructor means what? Compiler will not place zero argument constructor. I mean default constructor. Understand? So now
Yes,
here
sir.
what we are keeping argument type constructor. But somehow if you some other class want to use functionality of your class, means what? That class has to create object of your class. So by mistakenly that class, okay, will create the object of your student class by using what? Zero argument constructor. So like this. So by that time, they will get what? Compile time error. The program will be, the program will not be successful. Am I right or not? They are not able to access your class because what? You don't have any zero argument constructor. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's why always we have to keep zero argument constructor also while writing any other argument type constructors. Okay. So always it is recommended to keep what, guys? Zero argument constructor along with other argument type constructor. Clear? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we will see while discussing is a relationship as a relationship, right? So by that time we will see. So what is the importance of keeping zero argument constructor in Java class? Okay. So we done, guys. Okay. Constructor topic we done. Any questions?
No.
Everyone, do you have any questions? So we see each and every area in the constructor, guys. Okay. Remaining things we will discuss on and while discussing is a relationship as a relationship. Okay. Remaining topics in constructor we will discuss on while discussing inheritance concept, guys. Come on, tell me.
Same
From
argument,
Hmm?
same argument constructor. That time also complete time error.
Same
Argument constructor.
argument constructor.
Same argument constructor. Student like int I. Again student int j. Argument is same.
Uh,
Constructor name is same. That time complete time.
on that time definitely we will get compile time error, right? See, in Java, can we have duplicate variable names?
No.
Can we have duplicate method names?
No.
Here method names means what? Not only method name, method signature, right? Already we discussed it, right? What is the method signature? Method name and argument types,
Type.
right? Method name plus argument types. Both are called what? Method signature. So do we have same method signature in Java class? Do we have duplicate method signature in Java class? Can we have?
No.
We cannot have. In the same way, constructor also, right? So we cannot have same constructors, guys. So we cannot have duplicate constructors in Java class. So you're asking like this, right? Student int j.
Yes.
Like this you are asking, right?
Yeah.
Vignesh?
Yeah.
Now see. Okay. Now let me save it. What it is saying?
Already defined it.
Constructor student int is already defined in class student. Okay. But yeah, already we have same constructor. Right? This is what? Duplicate constructor. In Java, we cannot have what? Duplicate constructors. Okay. See here, student name is same, constructor name is same, and argument type also same. This is also int, this is also int. This is also one argument type, this is also one argument type. Right? Now
Yes.
these two constructors are same, right? These two constructors are what? Duplicate constructors. In Java, we cannot have what? Duplicate constructors. Understand? So that's why we will get what? Compile time error. Already constructor int already defined. So like that you will see as a compile time error.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
You copy here. Any questions, guys?